What is something you see people wear every day that originated 25,000 years ago? Well, the answer is jewelry. The International Gem Society states that the first evidence of jewelry found was a fishbone necklace in Monaco that dates back 25,000 years ago. Since then, jewelry is now made out of precious metals and fine gemstones. This Christmas season, many of you may be flocking to department stores to pick out that beautiful piece of jewelry for somebody special. Well, today I'm here to show you how to make a beautiful piece of jewelry that'll be more meaningful because it'll be homemade from you. I've been making these rings for about 3 years now, and I have perfected how to make them. These rings are great because they can be made for anyone. They can have a more feminine feel, a more masculine feel. They can be smaller for children or larger for those who might be difficult to shop for because they have large ring sizes. So today I'm going to show you how to make this ring, which includes the supplies you will need, how to form the ring, how to solder the ring, and how to add a beautiful polish to the ring. First, you will need your supplies. For your supplies, you will need a ring blank length paper. This will show you the length you have to cut your ring out to get the perfect ring size. You will also need a jeweler's saw. On your jeweler's saw, you want to make sure you have a number 1 size saw blade. When you install your saw blade, you want to make sure the teeth on your saw blade are facing downwards so that when you cut, it cuts in a downward motion. Next, you will want some silver sheet metal. You'll want 18 gauge silver sheet metal. You will only need enough for however many rings you want to make. You will also need silver paste solder, which is what will hold your ring together. You'll need a butane torch, some forming pliers, which are round on one side and then flat on the other. You'll also need some cross-lock tweezers, which open when you apply pressure. You'll need a no-bounce hammer and a ring mandrel to round out your ring. You'll also need some jewelry pickling solutions, such as citric acid or any other brand. You'll need some sandpaper at grits of 320, 400, 520, and 600 grit sandpaper. And you'll also need a soft brass brush to add a beautiful polish to your ring. Now that we know the supplies, let's get started on forming the ring. To form the ring, you'll need to cut it out. Your length is going to be measured from the length on your sheet for the appropriate ring size of the ring you're making. The width can be any of your preference. Usually wider is more masculine, thinner is more feminine. So it's up to you for the width. And then to cut the metal out, you just use your jeweler's saw and stroke in a downward motion until you have the ring cut out. Once you have the ring cut out, you have this beautiful little rectangle of metal. We now need to make the ring into a ring shape, obviously. So you're going to take your forming pliers, pinch your metal with them, with the round side of your forming pliers facing up. You're going to bend the sides upwards on both sides so that your metal takes this U-like shape. Once you're done with that, we need to bend the metal upwards towards each other and give it this closed horseshoe-like shape. Right here you see your seam line. This is where we're going to solder. So our next step is to solder the ring. So to do so, you take your ring, you pinch it in your cross-lock tweezers, you apply a little bit of solder in that seam line that I previously showed you, heat it up with your butane torch until your ring is completely soldered. You'll know your ring is completely soldered because you'll see the solder flow into the seam. It'll look like a shiny metallic water going through it. Once you're done with that, place it in your jewelry pickle for about 2 minutes or until it comes out to be this pearly white color versus the silver that it went in as. Once you're done with that, we now need to round the ring out. To round the ring out, you put it on your ring mandrel and either roll it on a flat surface or tap it with your no-bounce hammer until it's completely round. When it's completely round, you'll notice that there is a little tiny glop of solder left over at the top. You'll need to use your 320 grit sandpaper to remove that. You'll also want to remove any impurities such as scrapes or dents or ridges on your ring. You may also want to file the edges off if you would like. Once you're done with the 320 grit, you move on to your 400, 520, and then 600 grit sandpaper. Once you're done with that, it's now time to add the beautiful finish to it. To add the beautiful finish to it, you take your soft brass brush and just brush it across the top and inside of the ring. It'll add a nice, beautiful shine to the ring. Now that you know how to make a beautiful ring, it's great to give to anybody for Christmas. Today I have showed you how to make this beautiful ring, which included the supplies, how to form the ring, how to solder the ring, and how to add a beautiful polish to it. Christmas is a month and a half away, which allows plenty of time for you to get a present, or to make it. Many of you will still think this is too much effort, I'm just going to buy a ring. Well, Michael's The Craft Store states that 87% of people will find it more meaningful to get a homemade gift versus a store-bought gift. So I hope you at least attempt to try to make this ring because you won't regret it. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.